Hello and welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me in another of my monologues. Ordinarily, I'd like to bring you sort of uplifting monologues now and sort of steer the channel into the solutions and look at ways that we can thrive and sort of no-brainer solutions, really. Ideas for what we ought to be doing and saying, hey, why can't we live like that? Rather than perhaps some of the ways that we are living. But there was a very sad story in the news recently, and I thought it my duty to bring it to you, especially as we've been talking a lot about these lollipop towers, which seem to be erecting everywhere, emitting radio frequencies. You know the ones I mean. So let's have a quick look at this story briefly. So 2 school children aged 5 and 6 from the same Liverpool special needs primary school have died now after an outbreak in the class, says the Daily Mail online, of, now I'm not sure how you pronounce this, is it gardiasis or something? A gardiasis infection. Anyway, however it's pronounced, the 2 children who attended the Liverpool primary school, which is battling against an outbreak of this infectious stomach bug, have died, which is a terrible story. The pair, believed to be just 5 and 6 years old, pupils at Milstead Primary School, which provides education for children with special needs in Everton, Merseyside. You may live possibly near there and know the school. Their head teacher said everyone connected with the school was devastated, of course, by their deaths, and that they had filled their class with joy. And what a terrible and sad story. And you know, these things happen, you would say. However, the school's been dealing with this outbreak of this gardiasis, an infection caused by a parasite which causes diarrhea, stomach cramps, flatulence and bloating. The UK Health Secretary Agency, that's the UKHSA, have been managing the outbreak of the illness and said that although the reason for the deaths have not been confirmed as of yet, it is unlikely to be due to the bug. Now, that's the bit that is worth noting. That is, in fact, the UK Health Security Agency. And they said it's unlikely to be the bug. Anyway, I'll leave a link to the story. Apologise, actually, if some of the links don't work when I post them in the description. YouTube now, at the moment, have prevented me from having clickable links, which is a shame. And then they shorten them, and sometimes they don't work. So I'm trying to find ways around that. I'm using tiny URLs at the moment, which seems to be working. But I don't know how many of those I can use. But anyway, so they're saying that these poor children have died, but it may not be the bug they thought it was. It could, therefore, what is it? Well, this is very interesting because I've been alerted to by 2 guests who have been on the show before. One is Eileen O'Connor, who's the director of the EM Radiation Research Trust charity. Let's have a look at her letter here that she has sent to the UK Security Agency for the Northwest. She's also sent it to a number of other people. Wes Steeting, MP, Secretary of State for Health and Social Care, amongst a list of other people that you can see in here, including the headmaster of Milstead Primary School and the chair of governors. And so this is clearly for the attention of all these different people, but including the UK Health Security Agency, Northwest, and public officials. And just have a look at their letter is quite long, and I'll leave a link, but let's just look at some of the principal points that she makes in this letter, which is concerning. The EM Radiation Trust, saddened, obviously, to hear about the 2 deaths of the young children in the same school who died unexpectedly with no clear cause. And we offer our sincere condolences to the families, friends and teachers at Milstead Primary School. And she links then to the Daily Mail headline that we saw. The EMF Radiation Trust called for an investigation into the 4G LTE phone mast right next to the school. We recently invited RF radio frequency, EMF, electromagnetic fields, radiation measurement expert Glyn Hughes, who is the second person who's been on the show several times now, to do a preliminary measurement outside the school. Please see the video, and she links to a YouTube video, which I will also link in the description. Effectively, Glyn, who we've had on the show, goes out. Now, the school is on the left in this picture. I'm not going to play the whole video. There's a block of flats that people are living in. The 4G tower is immediately in front, just above his hand, to the left of the measurement meter, as you can see there, which he is pointing it at. And to the left of the screen, you can see the wire fencing and the street lighting. That is where the school is. And so the EMF radio frequency coming from that 4G is extremely high. You can see it's going into the red of this extremely sensitive and expensive meter. And I'll put the link in, and you can see just how high the EMF radio frequencies are coming out. Now, what that's doing not only to the kids in the school, but also to those people living in that block of flats, goodness knows. And maybe there's a number of people there who are having headaches and perhaps diarrhea or all sorts of effects, perhaps because they're adults, they haven't suffered, but maybe there are also other children in there who are suffering. I don't know. It's just a question. But let's go back to the letter. So it says here, the phone mast is placed in a location right next to Milstead Primary School, Everton, in Liverpool, a special needs school for children, and next to a block of apartments. Glyn Hughes from the EMF Protection recorded the highest peak reading he has ever taken in the UK. And he lists it there, the measurement using his FM5 meter. The peak radiation levels of what this number is here, 1,554,932, were recorded outside the Milstead Primary School, which correspond with readings recorded by Professor Lenhart Hardel and Mona Nilsson of the Swedish Radiation Protection Foundation, who previously published 7 case reports that include a total of 16 persons aged between 4 and 83 that developed microwave syndrome within a short time after being exposed to 5G base stations close to their dwellings, which is not good. So then she goes on later on in this letter to say, are the people of Liverpool aware they're taking part in an experiment, which she has highlighted earlier in this. It is an experiment. We don't know, do we not, these results of these extreme radiation frequencies. I mean, we can guess that it's not going to be terribly healthy. A lot of people who have had these towers put up in front of them have complained to the electric companies, to the government, to their councils, that they are suffering from headaches and nausea and various other illnesses, and yet this is being rolled out across the country. You'll know that I've had various guests talking on the show about the worry that we have for 5G, the bogus companies that are not actually registered correctly on companies' house as limited companies that seem to exist until you look them up and you find that company had nothing to do with radio frequencies, 5G technology and stuff, but also were dissolved some 10, 15, 20 years ago. And also, as Eileen O'Connor has stated on this show, having written to the government, said, well, who is liable for any damage and danger to the public? And both the companies that have been installing this have been saying, well, it's not us, and the government have been saying it's not them. Doesn't seem to be any liability insurance in place for anybody who is damaged. Now, I'm reassured that there are people placing stickers, quite large stickers, saying danger, radiation damaging to human health on some of these towers, and I would certainly condone more of this warning until we know whether it is safe or not. And we don't know for sure. And a lot of members of the public now beginning to wake up to the fact that this is not a safe technology, as we're all led to believe. Just because we can't see the radio frequencies that are being emitted doesn't mean it's safe. And we know that this is very different to the type of radio frequencies that you would have on long wave, medium wave, short wave, when it becomes at the range that it is, this microwave technology and the amount of power that is coming out of it. Clearly, you can see that the meter there, and if you look at the video and listen to what Glyn Hughes has to say about it, you'll realise that this is not a safe option for people. Yet this is going up and down across the country, and many of these towers are located close to schools and to apartments. So this can't be right. I'll be interested in your thoughts about this. Now, I'll leave a link to this video because you may want to send this to your MP. You may want to also send it to the school and to various other places, or you may want to make your own version of it and take out the salient points. I'm not saying that you have to. I'm just saying you may want to make other people aware of this situation. Perhaps you have 5G towers going up round you and you want to send a copy of this to the council to make them aware that this system is not yet proven safe, especially if we've had children dying and it turns out that it was due to these towers. Now, I'd just like to point out that if you would like to support this channel, I've been demonetized from YouTube currently for putting and peddling so-called misinformation. And therefore they deem me not eligible to earn a living from putting out these videos. Fair enough. However, I know that there are some people who would like to support the channel, and they're asking me all the time, and I appreciate that. And I thought about this: what with the advent of the collapse of fiat currency seeming to be coming, the dollar seems to be going, what are we going to do? And it seems sensible to put money into precious metals. And so I've spoken to Blair Bullion, and they've come up with a solution to help both me and indeed you if you want to support the channel. So let's have a look at what the solution is. Here we go. So this is blairbullion.co.uk, and you can buy a voucher. You can buy and donate if you so wish. I'm not saying you should. You can buy a voucher from £5, VAT exempt, and there are different tiers. You can spend more money if you so wish, which is very generous if you did, to support the channel and keep the shows going. What happens is that will accrue to a certain amount, and when it reaches a certain amount, Blair will send me the equivalent in silver or gold if it ever reaches that sort of amount, so that I'm being paid not in fiat currency but in precious metals, which is something perhaps that all of us need to be thinking. And of course you can go into the web page here and find out all about precious metals, gold and silver, and what you can buy and the current prices and how you also can protect yourselves. So you can buy a voucher. I'll leave the link in the description as best I can. And thank you so much. In the meantime, I'll be back with more wonderful interviews and, of course, more monologues. Thank you for watching. All the links will be in the description. And if you can't get them from there, then do go across to my Rumble account, where you can get them all in full, where they're not censoring me quite so much. Thanks so much, and I will talk to you soon.